I am the chosen one. China's made $500 billion. $500 billion. Ripped it out of the United States. And not only that, if you take a look, intellectual property theft, add that to it, and add a lot of other things to it. So somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. I am the chosen one. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. So I'm taking on China. I'm taking on China on trade. I'm taking on China. I'm taking on China on trade. And you know what? We're winning.
Good evening, brothers and sisters. Apollyon revealed himself through his official name, COVID-19. Just before I continue with the message, I just want to ask you to pray with me. I trust the Lord for my wife's healing. I need to repair my iPhone, which I use on WhatsApp and counseling people, especially on WhatsApp. And I also need extra hard drive for space to do the videos. Yes, thank you so much for praying with me. You've seen that video clip with Donald Trump. I hope I don't upset many of you, but I have to speak the truth and tell the truth and what has been revealed to me. Yes, tonight I'm going to uncover the meaning of the code, the meaning behind COVID-19, the name for the coronavirus, COVID-19. And I'm also going to discuss the relationship between Apollyon. Yes, you probably will know who's Apollyon. The spiritual world is more real than the physical, people, between Donald Trump and Apollyon. And yes, we also going to discuss the bioweapon. I found out the truth behind it. The last video I mentioned that I believe it is a bioweapon. We find the proof of that as well. That's going to discuss. Are you ready? Please do watch the video, the full video. Do not skip through it. It is very important. But before, I just want to give you the breakdown on this before I continue. Not continue. I just want to give you a breakdown on the introduction of where I'm coming from. Since the dawn of man, the Masons have existed. Since Enoch have been created, the world, since Enoch, and Enoch, by the way, will be one of the two witnesses with Elijah. Not Moses, Enoch. Enoch has walked with God. Let me tell you now again, Enoch walked with God for over walked with God for over 300 years, and he has experience with the fallen angels and the evil ones in his days. Now, these Masons, they have created the world's most infamous secret societies with such names as the Order, the Council, the Ancient Mystery Schools, the White Brotherhood, the Celtic Druids, the French Priority of Zions, the French Cathars, the French, and the latest Scottish Knight Templar, of which Donald Trump is one. And I can well prove to you in a video that Donald Trump is a Freemason. In fact, he said so himself. Yes, it's the British and the Americans, the Freemasons and the British Harmonic Order of the Golden Dawn, the British Order, Templars, Orientals, the Bavarian Illuminati, the German Rosicrucians, the German Thule, Society, the occult-driven German National Society, the Anglo-American Skull and Bones, we all know that very well, and the famous American Bohemian Groove, where the ancient demon Moloch is revered by influential politicians and presidents, among many other such organizations connected to the British and American Freemasonry and their global institutions. Through the ages, they have had a single goal towards global enslavement. Their plan is so diabolical in the intent that the Bible warns us of as early as Genesis 3 verse 15, where God foretells of the epic war between Christians and Satan via the bloodlines. The bloodlines has come through different bloodlines that each would work through to claim Jerusalem as their own. Yes, they're going to have Jerusalem. And it's not by incident that Donald Trump declared Jerusalem as the capital. There is a reason for that, why he's doing it. They have always been involved with the destruction of mankind via mass depopulation efforts. The patent of the coronavirus came 2 days after Trump's organization, and here is the proof of that. I can just give you a minute for it to walk over. Patriots for Truth, Voices of American Intelligence Media. Here is definite proof that the coronavirus is a globalist bioweapon. And I stated so in my last video. Please do watch that last video and share it with people as well as this video. Prove the coronavirus is a bioweapon created by DARPA. Bill Gates, DEFRA, Wellcome Trust, the UK, and the European Commission, the EU. The coronavirus patent from the UK was approved in 17 months by SERPENT UK, that runs the US Patent Office. Coronavirus was funded and patented by Wellcome Trust UK. It's a fake sold to Glasgow Smith Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. DARPA, DEFRA, the UK, World Health Organization, the European Commission, via Pinbright Institute, the UK, United States Patent Procurement et.al. Here's the patent number, USA 10137 B2, the date of the patent, November the 20th, exactly 17 months from Donald Trump's inauguration at the 23rd January 2017, again, 17 months from that. Coronavirus, the applicant, the Pinbright Institute. Here is the US patent, November 2018. I'm not going further. Here it is the proof of it. It was filed January 23rd, 2007 for coronavirus. And it was approved November 20th, 2018. Here's a patent. You just type in Google patent coronavirus and you will find it yourself. Yes, unless they don't take it off by that time, but I do have the proof of that. The coronavirus patent was issued in just 17 months from the initial filing, that almost unheard of speed. That is very fast speed, with very little objection back from the Sergo UK Management Patent Examiner, Biao Kui Li. Sounds Chinese. in the United States Patent and Trademark Office, here is the reapplication Eric Bickerton for coronavirus. Here it is the list of the patents signed to the Pinbright Institute funded by Wellcome Trust, Bill Melinda Gates, funded EU and DARPA. Yeah, so here is the owner, Brian Charleston, Professor Brian Charleston. Yeah, so there you have that. It's the whole thing, the chair, Professor John Stevenson. I'm not going off it, but here is all this what came up in the search, in the result of the search in the US patent collection. And just look at it, people. Just look at it. The attenuated African swine fever virus, the stabilized FEM capsids, the chicken cells for the improved virus production, the coronavirus. All these came up in the search. And by the way, the African swine fever virus killed almost all the pigs in China. Pork is such at a high price right at this very moment. Yeah, let's go on to the next one here. Aren't my Pinbright institutions subjects, UK subjects, clever? The coronavirus traced itself, yeah. Here is the US patent number 137 coronavirus issued November 2020. Right back to the Queen has been traced to that. Not that she instituted, but Donald Trump issued it. Bioware. The coronavirus traced to the British Crown. No question, it is a British bioweapon developed by Wellcome Trust, DARPA, Dustin, yes, Facebook, World Health Organization, EU, and Bill Gates. The coronavirus traced to the British Crown. And no wonder they came up with the Four Horsemen, the Royal Berkshire. You know that I said it in a previous video, that Satan's four fallen angels, that of course is Apollyon, Abaddon, Belial, and the beast. They are the riders of the four horses. And these people, the elite, they carry out the instructions of Apollyon, Abaddon, Belial, and the beast. As two of them, the beast and Apollyon, will possess the two beasts of the two persons of Revelation 13, the Antichrist and the false prophet. I have this poster, I'm not going to read through it, and I said, God got a sense of humor to tell ignorant Christians that the apocalyptic four horsemen already opened by him. Even the elite knows it. And then one of the viewers, the readers, Dan Kean, he said, I'm not sure it's God's sense of humor as much as its enemy mocking us in plain sight. And that is really God's truth. Yes, Samuel, he put out a night word. He said to him, they are hiding in plain sight. Jesus said, in John 9:39, for judgment I am come into the world, that they which see not might see, and that they which see might be made blind. And there's some people that is so blind, they just can't see it. Especially the Donald Trump supporters. People, the governments of this world belong to Satan. Yes, Satan tested Jesus, and he said to Jesus, bow before me and I will give you all these kingdoms, all of them. It's Satan that gave Donald Trump, Barack Obama, and all the other presidents their position in this world. It belongs to him. Yeah, so there you have the whole story. But let me continue to today's subject before I get finally lost. And as I said, that diabolical plan in intent, the Bible warns us of the earliest in Genesis, as Genesis 3 verse 15. And yeah, and as I said, the patent of the coronavirus came 2 days after Trump's inauguration. Now, it was Angela Coleman Novak that notified me, and that is where my search began. She wrote this to me, and said, do you know how they came up with the official name of the virus, COVID-19? A C is the letter, is the third letter of the alphabet. 3 in Strong's is Abaddon, but I'll come to you there right now. The definition of over to sheep, 19 in Strong's is slaughter. Let's just quickly go there. There's the end show, and just go to and see what is the name. So now if you really want to go, it's easy to work. eSword is an easy work Bible. You just download Smith. This is the things that I use, the King James version, the Naive, the Smith, and the Strong's. So if you want to look at, say, this third letter, the C of the alphabet, then you, what its name, put in G3. G3, what does that come up to? That's Abaddon. But look, where does Abaddon appear in the Bible? And people always mix Abaddon with Apollyon. Now, Abaddon is the destroying fallen angel. Abaddon, the total occurrence is 1 in the Bible. And just let's read here Revelation 9 verse 11. And they had a king over them. That is, of course, that is the fifth trumpet. And it's a great woe. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name is in the Hebrew tongue Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue have his name Apollyon. So it's actually Apollyon is the one that is really behind it, because it's Apollyon that will possess the false prophet, the Jewish Messiah. The beast, of course, will possess the Antichrist, Barack Obama. And so there you see it yourself. And if you want to look at 19, the 19, look at page 19, then you get Ipka. That's what it says, Ipka, from unused apparent meaning to turn, brandishing a sword, which actually means slaughter. So 19 means slaughter, and that is the intent of the elite to populate the earth. And that's the intention. Many people show always the capstone where it is written on. And they're doing it for over years. In the 1300s, over 50 million people were wiped out by another virus. I just can't get to its name, but nevertheless, 50 million people were wiped out. And by the way, it also started in China. So, as I said, this was Angela Coleman that notified with me, and this reveals the true identity. And Apollyon revealed himself through this name. And the elite always use code names to speak to their followers. And this is the meaning of COVID-19, the coronavirus. It is C is the third letter in the alphabet in the strong word Abaddon, and as I said, it speaks of Apollyon. And Donald Trump is in love with Apollyon. It's the angel of the bottomless pit. Now, you're talking about the angel of the bottomless pit. There were 200 angels, and this is not part of the original fallen angels that fell, people. These 200 angels were sent by God to teach man righteousness. And it was Apollyon, most of all, the deceiver, that deceived them to go into the daughters of man. They were deceived by this very man. That is why he is the king over the bottomless pit. Apollyon is a great deceiver, and he's working with this man. He's working with this man, and we'll see now in Transcombo what takes place there. Okay, so the definition of Ovid means sheep. 19 in Strong's means slaughter or killed by the sword, and that's actually brandishing by the sword. So, as I said, Apollyon and the beast will possess the two beasts of Revelation 13. Apollyon, he will possess the false prophet, and he will possess the Antichrist. Okay, so Satan is coming down to the earth, and you can read Revelation 12 verse 12. Revelation 12 verse 12. Rejoice ye that are in the heavens, and those that dwell in it, that is the bride of Christ. And woe to the people on earth, even those in the sea, for the devil, Lucifer, is coming down, and he have great wrath. He have great wrath, and he's furious because he only have a short time, and he's coming with all his host of billions of fallen angels. They will be demoted, and we will be promoted to heaven. That is what Revelation 12 verse 12 is. And where does that take place? It takes a right place at the sixth seal. And the stars is mentioned there. The stars is falling like figs. It's falling like figs from like a fig tree that is how the stars are falling. These are mentioned, the stars. They will be demoted. When Satan is demoted, comes down, we go up, people. That is in Revelation 6. Revelation 6, people. Read it, Revelation 6:14. Okay, so that's what these four men, these are the riders of those four horsemen, and you can read it in the the previous video. Now, did you know that Donald Trump also thinks of himself, and I said it just now, as Apollo, which is why he wears his hair in that way, the same way like Apollo does, you know. He and Apollo is great friends, people. His entire 66 floor condominium is decorated in tribute to Apollo himself, adorned in gold and the finest for any god would deserve. To his friend Apollo. Apollo is his covering, and here you see Apollo riding. Yes, Apollo riding right in Transcondo. There it is. Here it is Apollo riding his horse, and Apollo is his covering. Apollo is his covering. Here is AB with Apollo, and here Apollo is riding his chariot in heaven. All gold, people. All gold. Jesus came as a servant. He didn't stay in a palace like Donald Trump, which you believe he is a Christian. he is no Christian, my friend. He is no Christian at all. That is all that I have today. Thanks for watching. Be blessed. Do subscribe. Please share this video. It's vitally important. It is vitally important. Many are blind. Many people, they do not get this kind of teaching. All that they just talk about the rapture, that's most of what Watchmen is doing. They do not get this type of teaching, people. Please share it with them. And I pray that the eyes will open. It's only the first fruit of the bride which will go in the rapture. Do not be concerned about the coronavirus. Psalm 91 is our refuge and our fortress. And Isaiah 54 verse 17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Be blessed, people. See you next time.